Hi there, I'm Hobie Artigue here on Local 4 Plus. We are taking you to the Detroit Economic Club for a conversation with the CEO of LIV Golf, the team championship coming to St. John's Resort in Plymouth in August. Let's take you out there.
All right, fun for the DEC. Today is also one of our favorite days of the year because we get to announce our 2025 scholarship recipients. The DEC scholarship is a 4-year renewable scholarship of $2,000 each and is given to 2 deserving high school seniors who just graduated. That means each and every year the DEC supports 8 college students as they further their education, and that means in 30 years the DEC has supported over 200 scholarships for almost $400,000. The fund is expertly managed by the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan, and I want to thank Karen, who's here, for her hard work on this project. This year, we received almost 300 applications. Applicants must meet the criteria of academic achievement, leadership, character, perseverance with an early life challenge, and of course financial needs. And I think when you hear about this year's recipients, you'll understand why they were selected. So here we do ladies first. So Alana, come on up and join me right over here. Thank you. This is Alana Lowry. She just graduated yesterday, I think, with a 3.88 GPA. From Henry Ford II High School in Sterling Heights. Alana is a member of both the NHS and Spanish Honor Society. Throughout high school, Alana has been actively involved in Student Council, Spanish Club, Students Against Destructive Decisions, and she also played tennis. She maintains 2 part-time jobs to help support her family. She is a caregiver for her single mom who was paralyzed in an accident. She's been inspired to become a clinical psychologist, and she'll be attending Louisiana State University this fall. Congratulations to Alana. So we're going to step down here. I promised Alana we would give her this recognition as long as when she's done with LSU in 4 years, she comes right back here to the state of Michigan. So, all right, our next recipient, Robert, come on up. This is Robert Dixon. He just graduated from River Rouge High School as their salutatorian with a 3.75 GPA. Robert was president of NHS and student council treasurer, and he volunteers at local food drives and community cleanup events. He's passionate about football and played defense for River Rouge. Robert became a second caregiver for his youngest brother while their single mom worked 2 jobs to support the family. He aspires to be a certified registered nurse anesthetist and will be attending Oakland University this fall. Congratulations to Robert. Good job, buddy. Let's just have you step up here and thank you. All right, one last round of applause for both Robert and Lana. All right, let's get this show on the road. To get us started, I'm going to introduce our presiding officer. Tim Codd is founder, president, and CEO of Masako Consulting. Tim is a long-time and amazing supporter and board member of the DEC, and more importantly to me, he's a great, amazing friend to me personally. So Tim does so much for so many people in this region. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tim Codd.
Wow. Another sold-out event. Steve, thank you. You make this stuff look easy. Can we give Steve, and where's Teresa? Where's Teresa? Where is she? There she is. She was taking my call last night at about 7 o'clock, trying to organize not just this event, but golf after. And I think that's the first time the DEC has ever done that. So big round of applause for Steve and Teresa. So welcome, everybody. It's my pleasure to introduce today's program. Scott O'Neill, he's quite the character, is the CEO of LIV, the Global Golf League, modernizing and supercharging golf in the sports world. Did anybody see Phil Mickelson's shot? That's all because of Scott. Scott has stewarded some of the sports and entertainment industry's most renowned and iconic brands and properties in the world. Listen to this list. The NBA New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers, the NFL's Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Rangers, and the New Jersey Devils. And internationally ranked sports and entertainment venues such as the Madison Square Garden and Prudential Center. Scott holds a bachelor's degree from Villanova and an MBA from Harvard. But I asked him what his handicap was. It wasn't his GPA. Our moderator today is an old friend, familiar face, and a wonderful voice on WJR Morning, 760. Jamie is also pinch hitting on the sports segment for WDIV Local TV 4. Please give a warm and Detroit economic welcome to Scott and Jamie.
Let's hug.
While they're getting situated, please turn your attention to the video, and we're going to see some entertainment.
This encapsulates what LIV Golf is all about.
It's not your grandfather's golf league.
No, that's what they call a sizzle reel, and it certainly sizzles. As a golfer myself, I'm happy to be here and chat with you and about the future of this league. I wonder if my outfit is messing up the mic a little bit. So Scott, your background was just mentioned in the intro there, you know, Villanova, Harvard Business School, all of that. I thought I would break this discussion down in three parts. Who's Scott O'Neill? Who is LIV Golf? And why Michigan? So
It's like going to a psychologist, right? I'm on a couch, I'm ready to roll.
All right, this is a little Sopranos TV
Okay,
episode.
let's do it.
All right, so who is Scott O'Neill? That is your background, that's your resume, but you're a girl dad. Are you
I
a
am a girl
golfer?
dad. I actually have a Girl Dad podcast.
Really?
Yeah, with my oldest daughter.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's kind of fun.
Talk to us about your family life.
Let me
then.
tell you, I'll tell you who I am. I've been married for 29 years to a woman I met at work, Lisa. I've got 4 daughters, 3 by birth, 1 by love. They're 25, 21, 20, and 18. They certainly keep me on my toes. I love just about any sport. I love to compete in general. I love a good sweat. I'm passionate, high integrity. I'm a strong man of faith. And I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. I have just about everything, I've ever could possibly dream of, including a job like this where I get to take a 3-year-old sport and take it to the world, engage and try to help develop personalities and people and these young golfers and build a league. I mean, it's kind of a dream job. And my whole life is fun and good and stable. And I think the world is really complicated. And I think if you can lock down your home life and have that be a source of power, energy, and strength, and you've got a good center on your faith or whatever grounds you, and then you have a passionate opportunity at work, and you keep yourself in relatively good health, at 55 years old, I'll take it.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's okay.
You work with a lot of franchises people know. The New York Knicks, 76ers, Eagles, Rangers, what have you. Mm-hmm. How is your approach different to a startup league that's 3 years old?
Well, I've only worked for one startup. It's a company I started called Hoops TV. I started in 1999, and it failed. And I vowed, I was like, I'm never doing this again, ever. And here I am. Startups are just an adventure. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My mom and dad were both entrepreneurs. All my 3 brothers and my sister all have started up companies and run them. And I just didn't, think I would ever do it again. And here I am. And it's for those of you who have started companies and founded them, or running early stage companies or running smaller companies, it's definitely more difficult, I think, at least for the way my mind works. I feel like for a 3-year-old league, we're in the spotlight. Everybody knows who we are. Our media coverage is outrageous. We're a global company. Our television coverage is in 120 countries. We reach not over 900 million homes around the world. So we can't run, we can't hide. Our stars, Bryson DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson and Bubba Watson and Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson, Cam Smith, they're household names around the world. And yet we're just a little startup. And so we have to sometimes crawl before we can walk and walk before we can run. And I came in on a dead sprint, and it's been the venture.
There are these events all over the world: Saudi Arabia, Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea. Is it best to run those events live for the audience here in America, or taped? Because if they're live, they're at weird times. Are as many eyeballs seeing it as you would like?
Well, if you think of the PGA Tour as NASCAR and think of us as Formula One, it kind of makes a bit more sense. And I'm American. I grew up here. I grew up on the East Coast. And sometimes, for those of us who haven't spent time outside the U.S., we have a relatively myopic bubble approach and view on what is what is success. What does this look like? And the U.S. is the preeminent media market. It's the preeminent sponsor market, but it's got 350 million people, and I'm talking to an audience of 7.8 billion. And so when I think about TV ratings, I literally think about the 7.8 billion people. And so we're doing quite well. But to answer your question directly, our last partner was the CW. They put it on tape delay. And our new partner is Fox, and they only do live. And so, what's that expression? I shouldn't say it. You dance with the one who brought you. It's a nicer way to say it. So you dance with the one who brought you. And so they're focused on live sports. I like it live. They are running replays, which helps a little bit. And then, we are anytime. I'll tell you a little story. In 1968, anybody here alive in 1968? I was not. I was -2. Okay.
Not many of your players.
Okay. No, none of them. So in 1968, there'll be 3 players you recognize: Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player. They were really frustrated with the PGA. And so they broke off to create a renegade league. That is the PGA Tour you have today. The reason was they wanted to make more money, in irony of ironies, okay? And so life, you know, when I was with the NBA, we evolved quite a bit. For those of you old enough to remember the bad boy days in Detroit, that was some physical basketball, you know? And then even the next generation, the Ben Wallace Pistons, you know, Detroit basketball, that era, that was really physical basketball. And then the NBA, I was there at the time, we decided, hey, let's evolve this game, right? Let's just evolve the game. Let's allow for the beauty to show. You look at the NFL, they're changing rules all the time. Baseball puts a runner on second and adds a pitch clock. And so games, sports that we love are meant to evolve. There's meant to be innovation. There's meant to be change, even in the sacred sport of golf. And so I would just say, like, in some of like all I've heard around the world about LIV Golf, and by the way, when we leave the U.S., they throw rose petals at our feet. In the U.S., there's just this like, and maybe that's because the 42 events that the PGA has in America, you know, they want to keep all the stars here. And our mission, like what we do every single day, like what gets me out of bed in the morning, is try to grow the game of golf. Because the values you learn in golf, consistency, integrity, resilience, and for me, humility, you don't want to see me out there, humility. So I'll say that we think that more of those values in the world today are better. The world will be better with more people playing golf. And we think the best way to grow the game of golf is to take the biggest stars in the game and take them to the world. And so for us, though, that doesn't always mesh with what is. But I'll ask you, like, you know, like what great company, what great innovation, what great investment has ever been made staying at the status quo? I'll answer for you. It's never happened. And so we are in this amazing opportunity to change. But we are so different. And I'll ask you, just show of hands, how many of you have been to Augusta for the Masters? Any of you? Great. Any of you been to the Ryder Cup? Okay, for those of you who haven't, Augusta is like the most pure form of beauty and elegance you've ever found in your life. It's pristine, it's pure and beautiful. And the Ryder Cup is like a fraternity party, okay? It's like raucous and crowded and slamming beers and throwing them and taunting the other team. And they're both, if I asked, if you've been to both of them, I'd say, but you love it? Oh, the Masters, I just love it, it's perfect. But you like the Ryder Cup? Oh, I love it, it's so amazing. Patriotism is so great. I was like, yeah, but they're so different. How can you love them both? Well, they're just different expressions of this wonderful game. And I would just invite you to think about LIV as a really different expression of that same game. So when you come to LIV, August 22nd to 24th, not to show a commercial, but that's when it is, here, I will tell you, you'll find DJs on the course, and you're like, what the heck are these? But it's kind of fun. You know, you'll find music throughout. You'll have party holes where people are actually celebrating and singing. You'll have like fan zones. It's different. There's a petting zoo in our last course, a petting zoo. You know why? Because we want families to come. Because we want kids there. A third of our attendees have never been to a golf event before. I know a lot of you are golfers, and that's wonderful, and we love you. But I want the next you as well. And so, man, if you just keep your focus on the flag, and our flag is so clear. It's just like your business, or your family, or your friendships, or your faith. Whatever that vision you have, our vision is clear. Grow the game of golf. And so we're doing everything we can to do that and take this game around the world.
I was going to get to this question later.
That was a long answer to a short question.
You led
on
me
ratings.
to this direction. People want to know if these two tours are going to merge. You are not in direct discussions with PIF and PGA. That I know. Is there any update, and how do you continue to focus on building a long-term vision for the league while others may see this as we're in limbo here waiting?
Yeah. Well, if you know me, I mean, you don't know me very well, but I'm not very patient. I can barely sit still for the 30 minutes of this interview. I have like this intense and insane appetite to move and to go and to grow. And every opportunity I've taken so far along the way, if you actually go back and look at the time I went to it, you would think it's like a really steep hill or a cliff that you're about to fall off one or the other. And I seem to run to those opportunities. I find like the rush in that process and the rush in the build. And in golf, when I walked into golf, it's like Humpty Dumpty, it's all broken. And I thought, wow, that seems so exciting to me. What an opportunity. And I don't think, I'm not the only new person in. The head of the Royal and Ancient, the RNA, which runs the Open Championship, sometimes known as the British Open. Mark Darvin is new, and Derek Sprague, who runs PGA of America, is new. The PGA Tour is, having a new CEO come in to run the PGA Tour. He'll be new. The LPGA commissioner is new. So all these new people in golf, like, why is that? Do you think all the boards of all these amazing places are like, hey, we love the direction of the sport. Everything's awesome. No, they're all looking around saying, hey, we have to drive some change. This isn't good enough right now. And so I think all of us, those of us that are new, are coming to the table with and some of the incredible established executives who are still leading the organizations. And we've all come together in various forms and said, okay, let's do this. We have a growing sport. We have an important sport. The most important people in the world play the sport. And so we have this amazing, amazing opportunity. Now, if some of that opportunity leads to some sort of connection and collaboration with the PGA, let's go do it. So long as the mission, it supports the mission, and that's to grow the game, make the game better. And we have such an interest in that. And we've had incredible, Jay Monahan's been a friend of mine for 20 years. He's a wonderful guy. And there's a new person coming in who's a dear friend, hasn't been announced yet. And we'll have an opportunity to start fresh. What a wonderful opportunity. But I can tell you, because we're so different, and they're NASCAR to our F1, this notion of a merger might not fit your notion of the merger or what the media writes about. But what might happen, or you might look to happening, is some opportunities for us to grow the game together. There's so many obvious ones that we'll be working through and working on, and I hope there'll be some news at some point.
All right. Now we're going to the section of what is LIV Golf, and I believe we have a video so everyone can understand further.
Golf, the ultimate game of precision and passion. It's a worldwide obsession for every generation. And LIV Golf is where the action's at. Lightning fast, electrifying, and home to the sport's boldest personalities. 13 powerhouse teams of 4, each led by a giant of the game, fuel a team format unique to the LIV Golf League. So whether you're fired up for the Crushers, the Range Goats, Ripper, Legion 13, or the High Flyers, there's a squad ready for you to rally behind. From February to August, we're hitting 14 epic global locations in a whirlwind of sun-soaked showdowns and high-octane competition. Fans get way more than just golf. This is turbocharged entertainment. Thrilling battles on the course, live music, and fan zones buzzing with life. It's a party where everyone's invited. Over a 3-day shootout, our players battle it out as individuals and for their teams. Each round kicks off with a shotgun start, where every hole is in play at once, and groups rotate around all 18 holes of the golf course. By the third and final round, it's all on the line, and the player with the lowest score wins. But at LIV Golf, it's not just about being the best player. It's about being part of the best team. In every round, every shot counts. Scores from all 4 team members combine and carry forward to create the team score. The team with the lowest total score at the end takes the podium. 1 winning player, 1 dominating team. 2 huge reasons to celebrate. From the first swing to the final putt, LIV Golf amps up the energy. More action, more thrills, more golf. Every single minute. Join us in driving this amazing game forward. Welcome to the LIV Golf League.
Now that's better than I could have done.
All right, so there's the individual aspect and then there's the team aspect.
Yes.
That's a lot different than the PGA,
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Let's talk about the individuals. Joaquin Niemann is on an absolute tear.
He's on a
won
heater.
4 of the
It's
first
unbelievable.
8 LIV Golf events this year.
Yes.
Do you think that the fans understand how good Joaquin Niemann is, or is it going under the radar a little bit?
Yeah, well, he's just a little bit about Waco. He's 26 years old, Chilean. We have players from 17 different countries of our 54 players, so it's a very global field. And he happens to be, he's a really good-looking guy. He's wicked smart. He is fun, funny, humble. He's interested. He has like an incredible knowledge of the game, and he's one of the hardest working players on our tour. He's like if I had to pick one person to be an ambassador for the sport, it'd be him. He is, and yes, he's under the radar, but in golf, there's one way to make a name for yourself, and you get 4 opportunities a year to do that, and he has another one this week coming up. He had his first top 10 finish at PGA of America, and I think hopefully we'll see him play at the level that he's capable of at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. But he is an extraordinary human being and happens to be a world-class golfer.
That leads me to my next question. It's like we planned this out. How do they transition then? If it's a shotgun start, those 3 days, the team atmosphere, the petting zoo, the DJ, and all of that transition.
Rocco doesn't go to the petting zoo very often.
Oh.
Now, Bubba,
Animal
because of the
adverse.
range goats thing, it's kind of a thing.
How do they transition then to a major? Because it's going to be very different at U.S. Open at Oakmont, which is my hometown.
You might think
Go
that, but for the Masters, that's played at Augusta Country Club, we had 12.6% of the field, and we had 2 guys in the top 5, Patrick Reed and Bryson, and we had 5 in the top 15, and so our guys are doing okay. And PGA of America had very similar results, and so we happen to have some of the greatest players on the planet, and I think the biggest change for them might be the 54 versus 72 holes. I don't know if you guys caught that in the video, but in a typical event, you play over 4 days, we play over 3. The shotgun start, I mean, for those of you who follow golf very closely, and I'm sure you know a lot more than I do, but pace of play has been something that's been talked about, at least since I've been following golf. And we finish our rounds in 4 hours and 35 minutes. So it's like, and we believe, you know, in the depths of our souls, that what it knocks out is the weather. So if you were to play a course in the rain versus after the rain, so if you go out early in the morning and it's raining, you're going to struggle, and then you come in after the rain, you're a later tee time and then more of a traditional setup. You have soft greens and you'll do better.
Right, it's a different course.
Right, and so we're not sure that's the most fair way to judge who the best golfers on the planet are. So if you put them all out on the course at the same time, they're facing the same elements at the same time in a more compressed time zone. We think it's better television as well, but we think that will become a staple at some point.
Official world golf rankings, is there discussion for that?
Yeah, of course. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want to talk? Is that the whole question?
No, I wrote down, LIV golfers do not get points in the OWGR.
Yes.
Will that change? How do
Yes.
the players feel about it?
Yes.
Is there a better pathway to the majors?
Yes, I mentioned some of the new faces in golf, and one of the new faces is Trevor Immelman, whose name might be familiar to you or not, but he's a South African who won the Masters several years ago, and he's taken on the new role of chairman of the OWGR. And that's like was the preeminent golf rankings in the world. And why that, you might not think that's relevant, like who cares? Well, some people care. So to get into the majors, it's typically the top 50 or top 60 guys in that world rankings automatically get into the majors. So it's a pretty big deal to players. And then sponsors and like the club manufacturers like Ping and Callaway, et cetera, they'll oftentimes bonus depending on where you are in the rankings. And our players were removed from the rankings when we started the league, unfortunately. And so that cost them quite a bit of dollars and took the number of players of ours that would normally be in the majors and knocked them out. And so there's a lot of conversations going on to figure out how that might work. We're very fortunate to have Trevor Immelman as the chairman. I find him very, very smart, very balanced, very passionate. And hopefully we're having some really fun, interesting conversations, and hopefully the right outcome happens.
On time, every time. Where's Steve? We got to get to the Michigan aspect of
Let's
this.
go.
And why you chose here at the Cardinal, and the team aspect, the team championship. One more video.
Nice, Bubba Watson here. Michigan's had a lot of great moments in sports. Let's add LIV Golf to that.
I feel like we're doing something different here. What an atmosphere. The parts party is in full swing. The golf has been simply mesmerising. This is LIV Golf, and it starts right now.
Do you have the feeling when you fall in love, and then you go, I can do this all the time? I think you fall in love.
It's an absolute masterclass. We go again. There's a feel of destiny to this.
We want to release the Michigan. Let's do it.
By the time we get to August and here, the individual champion will have been crowned, correct? So then it's just the team atmosphere, this Ryder Cup kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Why here at the Cardinal?
Well, look, Michigan holds a very special place in my heart. I spent a ton of time with the Pistons when they were at the Palace. And so I've spent 8 years coming here relatively regularly and absolutely love it here. This course is spectacular. It's got an unbelievable reputation. They do quite a bit of good here. The profits from this course and resort go to charity, which I absolutely love, the notion of that. Impact, which we haven't talked about, plays quite a big role in what we do and how we do it and why we do it. And and then the team championship. It's look, we haven't announced any of the rule changes. We haven't announced the musical acts that are coming, but both are fascinating. The music acts will light you on fire, but they're fantastic and big names. And in terms of the format, we have a competition committee made up of Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm and Waco Neiman. And so they have been tweaking the rules for this team championship, and we're really excited to roll them out. So it's different, it's fun, you see some of the videos, it's a party. And so we think Michigan has got an incredible golf market. It's golf starved, it's golf loved. Any event that's been here has been very well received. Our players, some of whom came years to the Rocket Mortgage Classic and have not been permitted to come the last several years, are really excited to get back here.
Did that go into your reasoning that people are obsessed with golf around here? I mean,
Absolutely.
Look at the turnout here, the turnout at all of the events in our state, and just how many golf courses we have per capita. People care here.
Yeah, it's just going to sound like a boring answer, but it's the reality. Is like we use AI models for a lot of this stuff, and it effectively ranks the top golf markets first by country, and then the markets within each country, and this popped pretty good.
I have just a few more questions. Social media-wise, you have a lot of players who are big on social
Yes,
media,
we do.
and they are really fun. Does that help grow the game, LIV Golf-wise?
I hope so. I mean, I was sitting at Augusta. I was so tired from walking around. I just got one of those chairs, and I sat down. I was sitting next to two groups of kids, and all they were talking was Bryson, little guys.
He has a very successful YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's just gifted. Like he's a gifted storyteller. He's a gifted creator, and he's one of the best golfers on the planet. And so, and you've seen even some of our older guys, like Phil Mickelson's closer to my age than he is Bryson's, and he's engaged in the YouTube channel now. It's fun. It's fun to see. Like I feel like there are different ways to reach different people. Our audience, as I mentioned, is a bit younger than a traditional golf audience, and so we have to go where the people are, and we have to speak in that language and become creators ourselves. And I think the more we can do that, the more likely we are to bring more people into the game. Because you can come to our event on August 22nd, never have picked up a club, never have watched a golf event, never have attended an event, and have the time of your life. And by the way, that's not so different from every other sport ever. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. How many of you have skated? Oh, it's just Michigan, you probably have. But any other market that has hockey, not everybody skates, and yet you can fall in love with the sport of hockey. And we want people to fall in love with the sport. And so I would just invite you to invite your friends who haven't picked up a golf club before, who haven't attended an event. And I will tell you, it'll be the time of their lives. And our hospitality is insane. It's like we patterned that. If anyone ever has been to a Formula One race and been in the paddock, that's what our hospitality experience looks like. So in terms of entertaining high-end clients, celebrities like flock to see us. I actually golfed with Johnny Drama from Entourage a couple days ago. Little shout out to
Name
Johnny
drop,
Drama.
okay.
Yeah, he gave me a victory too
I've
when he was
been
out
to
there.
the
If that
Waste-
means anything to you.
I've been to the Waste Management Open. That's a party. Is it like that?
Yeah, it's a little bit more family friendly than that. We have our elements of that, and I love the Waste Management Open. I've been several times, but this is a much more family environment. But there's party. I mean, our events are parties for sure.
We have 1:45 left. You mentioned impact. Is there something you'd like to hit there?
Yes, there are 3 things we focus on here. At first, you've probably heard me say 5 times, unfortunately, but that's like how can we put more clubs in more kids' hands? And so we do quite a bit with youth golf, and particularly in disadvantaged areas where they're less likely to have picked up a club. In fact, I'm the finer, like I'm the heavy hand that fines our guys for bad behavior. You know, break a club, pay some money, say the wrong word, pay some money, wreck one of my tee markers, pay some money, that kind of thing. And all that money literally goes to the golf. I don't want to single anybody out, but there are some that are repeat offenders. And so they pick a golf course near their home, oftentimes their hometown, and then we put clubs in more kids' hands. And I think that's important. If you come to our event, you'll see there'll be reams of young kids that we are trying to get interested in the sport. The second piece is around sustainability. A dirty secret in the golf industry is like we have to be better with sustainability. And so we, in every course we go to, we leave them better than they found it in terms of energy and water consumption, et cetera. We invest in some technology typically. And then the third piece is around refugees, which may sound like a hair of a disconnect, but I think it goes to more of the global nature of our game. And there's a lot of strife around the world. There's a lot of uncertainty around the world. And there's a refugee problem. And so we do quite a bit through the United Nations, through and for refugees. So yes, it's like it goes back to that why. And you all have it, right? Like why you do what you do. And one of ours is to make the world a little bit better than we found it.
Well, thank you very much, Scott O'Neill. I believe there are questions now from the audience coming up.
I imagine these are for both of us.
Hello? Did you break this, Scott?
I may have.
Does it not work? Did you
There we
break
go.
it? Hello? All right. Scott, we got a few questions here. And what a great interview. Not just about LIV Golf, but a human being. Right?
Good job being a human.
Quickly, in the student room, he was talking about working that night shift with the franchises. And he would bring his kids. And I remember when I was with the Pistons, I was bringing my kids. And it was to the high school musical in those little figurines.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you. Scott, from the audience, 5-10 years from now, and this was asked in the student section, where's LIV Golf?
We look a lot like F1. I mean, we're an aspiring F1 now, but we are the preeminent, dominant force for golf around the world. I think that we have such an opportunity with our current platform and what we have planned that's going to reshape the game quite a bit. We've just started. I tell you, it's 3 years, and this is a journey of a lifetime.
Great answer. You recently announced, and this is for the audience, and again, another sellout event. This is the 3rd most popular podium in the world, right? And you guys turn out real warm welcome from Detroit. You recently announced a relationship with Salesforce.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
I can.
What it means about the corporate sponsorship and the engagement?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've had I've only been here 5 months, and I will tell you, when I came in, again, an early stage company, not a lot of corporate support, and we've had kind of 3 layers of success in the last 5 months. The first one is through through Saudi-based companies like Aramco, is the biggest company in the world, and Bahri is one of the biggest shipping companies in the world, and one of the largest mining companies in the world. And then the next layer was, I think I mentioned this, Callaway and Ping. Titleist is knocking on the door now, so they'll likely be next. It's like that, the endemics, and that's almost just like a seal of approval, which we love. And then the global companies are the next rung to come in. And Salesforce was the first one. We have several more that are kind of in and around contract phase. And for me, that was like a wonderful like nod of approval. And I think 2 days later, we announced MGM. And so what you're starting to see is companies that want to find a global platform, there aren't too many. There's Formula One, there's us, UFC a little bit, but sometimes that's not the right target audience, certainly for B2B audience. And so we are leveraging their technology. We're creating this unbelievable AI, like almost a digital caddy, effectively, to walk you through the game of golf and the sport and our events. And it's a good seal of approval. And the good news is more is coming. And it's been the numbers, what we've done in the last 5 months has blown me away.
So taking that a little bit further, your team, your players have incredible brand. How involved do you allow them to be with their marketing and their sponsorship?
Well, the amazing part is that they're my business partners. And so you mentioned, you heard the mention of teams in here. Well, the stars have equity in these teams. And so, and in many ways, in many instances, we have, we're the one league that's full service and full circle, where we can sell the league, we can sell the teams, and we can sell the players. And so it's a very rare occurrence at the biggest stage that you can go with a 360 deal. And so that's given us quite an advantage on one hand. It's made them my business partners on the other, and it's created full alignment between players, league, and team, which is quite unique in sports.
Great answer. There's a few big companies in this room. How would they get involved with this?
Call me. 646. No, I'm just kidding. No, we would love to work with you. It can be a big or small company too, whether that be hospitality. We have incredible suites. I mentioned it's like the paddock type experience. It's like, we have a big club that's looks over at 18. That's outrageously amazing, inclusive of food and beverage, etc. That's where all the celebrities kind of mince and hang out too. And then we have smaller opportunities from a sponsorship end. We'll create something tailored and specific to make sure if it's visibility you want, you get it. If it's access you want, you get it. If it's hospitality you want, you get it. And so that's why we're here. Melanie, give a little hand up. Alana, give a little hand up. My two colleagues there.
Recognize them.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My two amazing colleagues are here, and we're here. So I'm the easiest person to find in the world. Literally, you get me on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter, or you can just go scotto@livegolf.com. But we're commercial. We'd love to do some deals and have some fun.
Do you have a Pro-Am?
We do.
Can you talk a little bit about that? There's some big money in there, especially at that table over there, the one playing the Pro-Am. So.
Yeah. I think the Pro-Am is a gem. I just think, for those of you who haven't played the Pro-Am or don't know what Pro-Am is, it's like literally our pros play with us. And it's amazing. In fact, we were on a panel. We had this event, we were on a panel, and one of our players said, hey, what's the best thing about a Pro-Am? He's like, I'll tell you what the best thing is. He's like, don't try to impress us. We have fun. He goes, I've played with Tiger Woods. Trust me, you're not going to impress me. I thought it was the funniest line. And I just thought, yeah, no, we do have a Pro-Am. We don't sell the Pro-Am. We reserve that for invites and partners and prospects and all that kind of stuff. But it's out here, it'll be amazing. And the players, and we have a different player for the front nine, a different player for the back nine, so you get a different experience with different guys. In Virginia, I played with Patrick Reed on the front and DJ on the back. But it was so fun. Patrick Reed actually helped.
Is it the same atmosphere with the rock concert?
There's music. Okay. It's a little less, there aren't as many fans. There's some fans.
Other in the room, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But fewer people to see my shanks for sure.
Third question, we get to the lightning round. We have a few members here from the Sports Commission, and thank you for referencing Formula One. Detroit Grand Prix was an unbelievable event. And then I see this, and there's some consistency. And it's an annual event. Would you consider Detroit as an annual?
Yeah, we plan on being back here for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're here for 1 year.
Okay.
But we're in some discussions in the market, so we hope to be here for a long time.
Jerry, did you hear that? Michael, you heard him, right?
Okay, some funding would always help from whoever helps.
Thank you. Right now, Steve, we go to the lightning round? Okay. So this is a lightning round, so you don't get to think very long. You answer the questions quickly. Something on your bucket list.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Whoa. Something on your anti-bucket list that you would never do again.
Ski and surf with one of my idiot friends who always risked my life. Scott Cutler used to work in Detroit, actually, by the way.
Really?
Very disappointing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Person other than your family member you would love to have lunch with.
The Dalai Lama.
Whoa. I wish I was better at.
Golf.
I knew you were going to say that.
One of your favorite songs?
Cats in the Cradle.
Whoa. We're learning a lot about this guy. Favorite team growing up?
Knicks. New York Knicks.
Best sport growing up and today?
Playing, basketball, and paddle.
What's the last book you read?
I'll tell you, the book that I love the most is Leadership and Self-Deception, which I hand out to everyone I've worked with in my last 4 companies. It rescued me from a very, very dark place, and I strongly encourage you to read it. It's called Leadership and Self-Deception.
Write that down, Tucker. That's my son, by the way.
Tucker.
One of your favorite movies?
Fletch.
Wow. Favorite vacation spot, because you've been all over the
Cabo. Las Ventanas.
Describe Detroit in one word. Can't use grit.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
The Renaissance in Detroit is spectacular. It's not told enough outside of this little area, but it is spectacular.
Thank you. We worked really hard to make it what it is today, haven't we? What social media website do you go to? What's your go-to?
I'm on Instagram a lot. I mean, my girls taunt me about my reels that I send because I believe that you should start every day with a positive burst. And to have teenage daughters, I've had teenage daughters in my house for a long time, and I always want them to start their day with something positive. So I send them reels, and they crush me about it. But that's where I go to get a positive boost in the morning, and then the algorithm then picks it up and only sends me positive forces. But I shoot them
So
5 or 6 a day.
Follow him on Instagram. Right?
Yeah, it's painful though. You'll shut me down quickly. It's positive, positive, positive.
What profession, other than the current profession that you're in, would you try?
I'd be a point guard in the NBA.
You know how tall he is, right? What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Point guard. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I want to play for the Knicks. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that
I always said backup point guard because I was like trying to be more realistic.
John Stockton.
Yeah.
What was your first paying job?
I was 14 years old. I dug pools.
Pools.
Pools, like building pools.
In your last minute here in Detroit, what would you like to say to us at the LIV Golf?
A couple things. One, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to be in this incredible region of the world. And I strongly encourage you to give us a shot and come check this out. And tell your friends.
Thank you, Scott. Let's give Jamie a big round of applause for those tough questions. And Scott, Steve, it's all yours.
That's that.
Thank you. All right. A couple of thank yous from me. Scott, we are so excited that you're here, but also we're going to be all over this when you come back in August. So thank you. And by the way, I think Jalen Brunson might be a little bit better point guard than you for the Knicks.
And where did he go to school? Let's go.
Half the Knicks team.
Let's go.
Right. That's why you got Jay right back there. And the Pope. Exactly.
And the Pope, my fraternity brother.
Thank you to you and your team for choosing us here. Jamie, it's always a special day when you're with us, but today is extra special because it's Jamie's birthday.
No, what?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
To Jamie for your birthday on behalf of the DPC.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
This is all part of our partnership with the Detroit Economic Club. We will be bringing you more of these conversations throughout the year, streaming right here on Local 4 Plus. Thank you for watching.